also does damage now. See, it didn't used to do damage. It used to just be like I used to play a freeze deck. I started off playing Hog Freeze because it was just deadly, especially at lower level. But then like the Hog was like I was encountering the Hog in every game, and then it became like who can play the Hog better, and I just didn't really like the meta I was always seeing in the ladder. So I decided to make a deck that was kind of banking on my opponent playing a Hog deck, and was just my response to it, and that's where I've got the Lumberjack Balloon combo. I dropped the Lumberjack as a counter, equal 4 for 4 as far as the balloon the Hog goes. The difference is you're going to get 2 hits on my tower, and I'm going to have a full health Lumberjack running across the bridge. Well, now you have to respond to it. If you don't, I'm just going to get tons of tower damage. You have to spend something to respond to it, and you're probably going to spend a ground troop, to try and distract him so that he doesn't get a couple of hits on. And you're going to play that ground troop, but that's my bait and switch. I drop the balloon right after. I don't care about the ground troop immediately because they're usually walking slow. That balloon, even if I don't have any elixir, just the 5 to drop it, the minions are coming after to do the cleanup of the barbarians or whatever it was that he killed my lumberjack with, and they're also going to hit that rage. And it works really good with the timing and the flow. And I don't know. I used to play balloon freeze. I used to play Balloon Rage. When I finally unlocked the Lumberjack, that was my way to go. But the freeze spell is high risk, high reward. I had a deck that was Graveyard Freeze. You see a lot of Graveyard Poisons right now. You see some Graveyard Freezes. But man, that actually might be really deadly right now. Graveyard Freeze, because the freeze does damage, might be pretty deadly. Because if you drop a Skeleton Army for defense, or Goblins even, like they're going to get that damage. Interesting. Okay, so I got a thought on that. When you drop the freeze, does it only damage what's been frozen? I think so. So if you drop something else after, it's not like the poison where like it continues to gain new targets. Like the freeze picks its targets when you use it per second. I think it's per second. I don't know. Freeze. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. That'd be a lot of damage. 5 seconds of 121 right now. Yeah, I know. There's no way. It's got to be total. It's got to be total. Yeah, freeze. I've totally done some freeze decks. Freeze is high risk, high reward. If you get a freeze, like especially when somebody's dropping like all of their defense at the same time in the same spot, and you're able to pull that freeze off, it just it can be devastating. Otherwise, you can also try to hit a freeze and it basically be a wasted card where you're pretty much throwing away 4 elixir. And like I said, where I'm at in my ladder league, especially, if I just throw away a fireball by just throwing one, like and on accident or something, like that's it. I've lost. There's like unless the person decides to make some really ridiculous like mistakes, there's no reason that I should win that game because giving my opponent a 4 elixir advantage is give me a 4 elixir advantage. I dare you. You know what I mean? Like I will eat you up. You won't be able to get the elixir to counter all my cards as they're rolling in. You might counter the first, you might counter the second, but you won't have the elixir to counter the third. And yeah, but that like the fireball is another really specific card in my deck. I was always losing. I didn't have a counter to 3 Musketeers. When I would encounter a deck and they're playing 3 Musketeers, which is a popular meta at certain spots in the tower, in the ladder, it's just like it's devastating. Then they'll bait out the fireball. They'll have like a witch, an elixir collector. They'll have all kinds of things that they want you to throw a fireball at. But if you throw the fireball at that, boom, there goes the 3 muskets, and you have to try and cycle all the way around, and you won't be able to in time. And trying to cycle is going to ruin you anyways. And it's just what they're going to do is they're going to split their 3 muskets. and they expect you to fireball the two strong ones. They usually throw down a battle ram in front of the single one, and they try to do some type of other, maybe giant or minor on the other side, and they just split push you, and it's so fucking hard. Uh, with what? Oh, okay, okay. See this? This I wouldn't worry about too much. See how he was baiting us? See how that was a bait? See how he baited really hard. That was a free fireball. That's really good, right? That's what I was just saying. Give me a free fireball. That's a free lumberjack. It's a good card. I'm not really great with it, though. Uh-oh. We need something on the ground. Shit. We just let that giant go our tower. Oh my god. That was a terrible mistake. And after he explodes, it's 1,500 damage. And we could have easily distracted him. We just needed one crouch. We were way distracted right there. That shouldn't have happened. Yo, you need to throw something down. My minions finally counted. Bad cycle. You know what to do here? Put your prince, put your witch right here, right here. So that it'll push the right lane and still take out the witches. See what I mean? Missed. We can't let this guy get to the tower. It's not. Freeze isn't going to be enough. Think about how much yeah, it's you got to think about how long it takes to kill that guy. And he's got support behind him too, so. This is just a desperation move. In my ears. Well, there wasn't a good opportunity to, and that's how it's gonna go a lot. Unless, like, what is your? Let me look at your deck. What is your thought with freeze? Where do you plan on using it? Do you have a combo set up for it, or are you just? Oops. The Mega Knight costs 7, the Dragon costs 4. That's 11 elixir. You only have 10 at any given time. So the freeze, you got to think, is another 4 seconds behind that. That's a bad move. You shouldn't do that. You can do that with a Giant, but not with the Mega Knight. The Mega Knight's for counterplay. If you play the Mega Knight all the way back there, it doesn't have as much health as the Giant. Okay, so it's not as tanky. So what you're doing is you're giving them opportunities to cycle through their entire deck to get to the counter they want. Right. Your Mega Knight has more than your Giant? 3,600. That's because they're not the same level. You must have your Mega Knight. You have a weak giant or something. Um, because if they're the same level, then the giant would have more hit points. Like in a tournament, when you think about like how it would be in tournaments when they nerf everything down to level 9, the giant is the highest elixir tank. Aside from the golem, would be the highest HP tank for the elixir. So the golem is obviously like the fucking golem. Then it's the regular giant. The royal giant has even less because he does ranged attacks. The skeleton giant is still kind of up there, but the thing with the skeleton giant is you just have one job. Don't let him walk to your tower. Because if he walks there, he doesn't even have to touch it. The damage is when he dies and he drops that big bomb. It does death damage 1,051 for so that's the thing. That's 800 unnecessary damage, 1,000 unnecessary damage. All you have to do is distract it. But because, like I said, you got to counter the counter the counter. You can't just throw down skeletons and think you're going to be happy because he's going to have a little baby dragon behind it. You know that. So you've got to have like a knight to just distract the baby dragon so that you can throw down skeletons and them not get eaten up. Well, then they might have zap. So you better have another spammy, ready to go. Like you got to have all of this thought out. When you make a deck, you really need to think, and it's taken me a long time to get mine tweaked to where I want it to be, and I've changed some cards over time. But so looking at your deck with that thought, the thing about a spell like freeze is honestly I wouldn't imagine that you would have the opportunity to use it until the last minute, anyways. Yeah, yeah. The witch and the wizard. That's pretty expensive as well. So what do I see in your holes though? I see that your deck must cost like an average of 4 at least. What does it cost? 4-1? Jesus, that's too much. You need to get rid of the witch. Um, the witch isn't gonna. When you make a witch deck, you make a witch deck. You know what I mean? When you make a witch deck, you make a witch deck because she's too expensive to be using for other counters. You can't use her as a solo. Using her just to take care of that princess like we did, that was a 5 elixir card just to pick up a little 3 elixir princess. Did we have a tank ready for the witch? No, because it wasn't in cycle. We didn't have the elixir for it. So it just screws you on what you're available to play. You have no quick reactions except for the skeleton army, and if I have a zap, that's it. That's all you got. I can. So if I had, fortunately you've got the Valkyries. I was thinking about something like the Elite Barbarians, or so the Valkyrie would be able to do pretty good for them. The Valkyrie will take out almost any troop. The Valkyrie is a great card, but the thing is, it's a defensive card. What you want to do is use a card like the Valkyrie, have it have just just a little bit of health points to help you tank. That might mean that you get one more hog strike, for example. But you don't want to just throw the hog alone. You want to have something ahead of it so that it can get to the tower and get an extra strike in. Anything, so that's why you got to balance the counterplays. And this one, with you having the witch and the wizard and the baby dragon, like, and then you got to think, what is your thought? You're going to put the witch, the wizard, and the baby dragon all in the same spot to get fireballed or lightninged? Do you want them all down at the same time? Is that your thought? Because that could be bad too. Right. So you've got air defense with the musketeer, and it just depends. Yeah, you've got 3 options there depending on what you've got. I'm thinking, when I say air defense, mostly I'm thinking of like a balloon. Okay, you'll need to know where to drop your wizard when you see a balloon to make sure that the balloon's bomb doesn't also hit your wizard. So you get better at the little caveats there. A wizard would be good. A musketeer would be good. A baby dragon is not going to be the good counter to the balloon there. Um, so your big idea here is you've got the Mega Knight. You want to drop the Mega Knight on something, okay? And then they're going to try to eat up your Mega Knight. And what you're wanting to do is, what do you want to play after the Mega Knight? Okay. Well, you can only you can like unless you just like thinking about realistically what you're going to be able to pull off in gameplay. The baby dragon. Waiting another second for that for you to be able to play the witch now or the wizard. Here's the other difference. If for some reason you can play the wizard in the bottom corner, okay, the wizard can absorb a fireball hit. So unless they fireball and zap to get, or fireball and log, which is a +1 elixir trade for you, you're gonna have a wizard alive. And then you wait for the wizard to get close to the bridge, and you can drop your Mega Knight in front of him, and it's better to play that way because it gives the opportunity for the wizard to get some counterplay in, to get some utility out of the wizard. The worst thing you can do is just play giant and wizard right at the bridge. That's super fucking expensive, and it's all offensive. You've got zero counterplay out of any of that, and if they just wait for the giant to walk up to the tower and then just like I would just literally counter, that would cost you 10 elixir. I would counter it with 4. I'd drop my lumberjack on the wizard, take a few hits to my tower, and have 6 more elixir free to drop into a push. You're gonna have nothing. You're gonna have like 3 or 4 to try and counter. By the time my balloon and my minions come, there's nothing you're gonna be able to do. If somebody tried to do that to me, I would eat it up. You know, every card that you play has to do at least 2 things. If it's only doing one, then you're selling yourself short. So you want to wait till they throw a hog, hit that wizard. You've got the wizard eating up the hog. Now you've got the opportunity to tank for it. And honestly, I wouldn't just throw the Mega Knight down at the bridge until there's something specifically that you want to throw it at. Maybe the hog is it. Maybe barbarians. Maybe it's a witch. Maybe it's a wizard. But you need to pick. You need to scout the deck. Pick. Find out what you're going to Mega Knight. When you get that Mega Knight off, then you can kind of see how the flow goes of how much elixir do I have left, how much timing is there, how many counters do they have. You'll see what their counter is to it. Is it air? If somebody throws down like a minion horde, you know, right, right. That's that. I would say the arrows would be a good, nice, quick counter because you don't have quick counters. Like once you throw that Mega Knight down, you're banking on either your wizard or your baby dragon to do all of the support, and that'll work if it's minions. But what if it's a bomb tower? What if it's an inferno tower? Can you zap the inferno to keep your tank alive? No, you can freeze it, but you probably won't have the. We'll have to see. Like honestly, it's just going to take playtesting. You're going to have to see. Can you actually pull off a combination that involves the Mega Knight, the Wizard, and the freeze? Like, will the elixir and the timing? By the time you freeze, is your Mega Knight dead? You know what I mean? By the time you have that 4 elixir. So you're gonna have to play test it to figure out. I know what I can pull off in the 10 seconds it takes me to do 10 elixir and stuff like that. I know that if I have 10 elixir and I want to spam the bridge, for example, then I can do 9, which would be my lumberjack and my balloon, and then I know that there's just a little bit of a 2-second delay, and I can get my minions out there. And it's almost good because I know how much space that provides me between my balloon and my minions. and you just learn all of that. I know that with a level 13 Tesla tower that I won't be able to take it out unless I zap it. You know, and the first bomb hit isn't gonna take it out. I need to zap it, otherwise I won't get a second bomb hit off, and I'll never get through it. So I only know that because of how many times I've been countered by it, and you know it's part of it. But you'll see if you can fit the wizard in. You'll see if you can fit the freeze in. But what you're gonna have to do is get your ass kicked and realize, damn, I don't have a counter for that card. I better figure out how to counter that card. And like I said, that's what happened to me with the Three Musketeers. I got my ass kicked by it so many times. I was like, all right, I need to put a counter in. I could have done lightning, but I felt like that was kind of expensive for me to want to run all the time, and I felt like the fireball was like a really good versatile card. There's so many things that you can fireball. Not that. All right, playing right tower. Push right tower. Right now, you're sitting on full. And sitting on full is the worst thing you can do. You need to play something. You need to already know what card you can pull in the match. What I would have done is not that wizard there. I would have put it in the place with that. Played him there, so it's easy to counter. You know what I mean? So don't play anything in the bridge here. Just be distracted. I got some good skills that sound like no. They're doing that combo. They've got a good combo here. They've got a deck. They know what they want to do. They're doing it well. You know what I mean? And they're taking advantage of free wizard, for example. Don't respond to that. Don't respond. We've already lost the right tower. Now we need to make a push left. Knight, back left. That's what you need to have pocketed. Slow. Right. That's where you should put your knight. Sorry. You know, you gotta make slow. No. You're eager to play that card. You have nothing to counter. I'm gonna do this. See how you counter something with that? That's what you need to do. Counter his knight and his bridge. Don't even mess with that right tower. See how you have to see that got nothing to play right now. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna go. You're gonna have all. It's ideal, I think. You get like one strike in, I think, one hop. So it's gonna be tough. I'm trying to pull off a little combo over here. No. That means dragon is what not resistant. So when a counter hits it. Yeah, Musketeer back in the back. You know, anytime that you're full like that, you should already know. You should already know how to play cards in the back. Never let yourself sit up. Trying to get your Musketeers to support didn't work out. Alright, that's how we're stop. Drag down. And then you'd play the baby dragon here, so that they would attack your baby dragon instead of the tower. You need to learn the card dynamics. Yeah, exactly. Hang on, let's hop out. Alright, so let me show you what I mean. Let me look at your deck again. When you're full on Elixir, you do not play the fast cards in the back. Okay? The point is to stall. You play the slow cards in the very back, and it enables you to gain some more Elixir and to get a bigger push going. If you play a really fast card in the back, it's just going to quickly get to the bridge and quickly get to the other side, and you might as well have just played it at the bridge. You know? Some cards are meant to be played at the bridge, and if they don't get countered immediately, then you win. For example, well, it's not exactly at the bridge, but the Goblin Barrel. You know, you're throwing your goblins directly at their tower, and if they don't counter it immediately, you're going to do a lot of damage. It's very easy to counter, especially if they have a log, for a positive Elixir trade. You know, so if I've got a log, I will counter it every single time for a positive 1 elixir on my side. You know, so yes, please do it. You know, but it's like the Goblin Gang. If I play my Goblin Gang at the bridge and somebody logs or zaps it immediately, I just gave them a free elixir. I just played I played a 3 elixir card. They countered it with a 2. It's a start of the game. They're automatically starting the game with 1 more energy than I have. They have favor, and if they're a good player, they'll do that 4 or 5 times and be able to pull off like a free wizard, basically. You know, because out of all the 4 times that I messed up giving them 1 elixir. So you got to be careful, and if they have the patience to do that, they'll eat you up. And some decks are totally engineered around that. The Elixir Collector deck specifically, they're engineered to get to an elixir advantage at the point where you can't do anything if you just can't do anything. They are able to lay down too many cards at once. They know what you're going to try to do in defense, and they've got a counter for that. So the Musketeer is a good one to play in the very back. It walks slow. Okay, it enables you to cycle around to your tank to put in front of it. It can do some defense on that lane in that process if for some reason something gets pushed down that lane. You know, your Valkyrie would be okay. Your Knight would be okay. I would, you know, the Baby Dragon, not so great to play at the very back. I mean, you can, but I would play those other cards first because they're slower. You know, if you probably have one of those in there. The Wizard is good to play in the very back too, but it just depends on the dynamic of the game. If you know that you need to have that Wizard ready to counter something, don't play it until you're ready to counter it. Like if you have to use that Wizard against Barbarians, don't play the Wizard until you see them drop their Barbarians, because they're just waiting for you to play your Wizard so that they can drop the Barbarians in the other lane, knowing you don't have a counter. So that it really just depends on if you know that there's any cards you need to save. But I would play the slow ones in the back corner. That Mega Knight I would play at the bridge to counter something. Anything. It could be a giant, it could be their Mega Knight, it could be a hog, it could be whatever you're going to do. You just have to understand that you're spending, 7 elixir? So you need to do the math. How much are you countering with that 7 elixir? It better be 7 or close to. Or really, it should at least be 4, because it's begging them to play at least 1 more card to defend you, which is going to be 3 or 4. And at least then it's an even trade. You know what I mean? But you know, I wouldn't necessarily like smash a princess, you know. But sometimes it just depends. Well, like I said, I'll give you as many pointers as I can as we're playing in real time, just because you know I've played so many games and I kind of understand the dynamic. But yeah, don't sit on full, because if you're sitting at full elixir, then every second your opponent's getting more elixir and you're not. You know what I mean? You're giving them free energy, and that's not good. You need to play something in the back. Alright. So far the Twitch stream seems to be going well through Omlet. Okay, in the back. Knight in the back is what you gotta pull. These minions in the back is moving too fast. Yeah, I'm gonna get this counter. I got this. This is not. And now think about what you can do for that person. Do something for those goblins. Take care of those goblins. These goblins. See how slow you are? You had a skeleton. You had a zap. You had a way too slow for that. You gotta react to that faster. That's the name of this game, you know. I got this guy. I got this hog. Don't even worry about this princess. Just let your wizard do it. Let your wizard do it. Don't overplay it, you know. Yeah, play that in the back right. Yeah, exactly. I would have played it just a little bit further up to try and actually do the defense there. You know, with guards, you should learn the dynamic of guards. They've got shields. Shields take a hit to undefended guards will hurt. That was really late. That was super late. That didn't even help. his is going to work well because he got some active counterplay on it. So now we have to play more cards to defend his, and he's got another card for distraction. We can't defend his. Those skeletons are on shit. With his splash damage, that's behind him. Those skeletons are racist as well. So, you know, sometimes you get into those positions where you literally can't do anything. Every card that you have is bad play. But that wasn't the case there. You're just used to using skeletons to defend against anything, and they don't defend against anything. Yeah, you're just like skeletons defending against anything. That's not how it works. I should have thrown those down a second. So when you play a card and it's immediately destroyed, like that skeleton was, why even play the card? You know, that's literally going to be like, it just takes away from you, because now you got to wait to get that energy back to play your next card. So don't play the skeleton against, if you see a princess, if you see all, like, any, you know, skeletons are squishy, anything that's splash damage. Like, you can't defend a Valkyrie with it, you can't defend against the Mega Knight. It would be really good against a Mini P.E.K.K.A. You know, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. hits really hard, but can only hit one target at a time. So what's the regular Knight? Yeah. It would be good against the Prince, but not the Dark Prince. But usually if somebody's running a Prince deck, they've got a Zap or a Log. They know what you're going to play in response, and they're going to try and mess it up. You have to expect that. You know, so you can't just have the one counter when it comes to the Prince, for example. You've got to be banking on throwing that initial skeleton army. You got to be waiting for that Zap or that Log. Just expect it. Be ready with a Knight. Be ready with something else to throw down there, you know? And when that Goblin Barrel came, dude, you needed to react so much faster than that. That was all you. That was your play the whole time. I was doing my balloon combo. You had 3 cards you could have played, and you just thought about it for too long. And then by the time you dropped a card, it didn't do anything. The tower was already just like taken out. And that's the other issue is there's a certain point when you shouldn't defend a tower anymore. But if you play, say, a wizard behind a tower that immediately gets crushed, and then the troops that crushed it end up damaging your wizard, you're hurting yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Don't do that. You know, don't defend a tower that's about to die. Defend it if you can actually defend it, but don't defend it if it's a moot point. If your card's gonna land late, you know, you just gotta know. Oh shit. You know, if your opponent is making mistakes too, then sure, you can mess up and they can mess up and you can have a fun game. But when it comes down to like playing super competitively, and you know, what does the meta allow? Yeah, exactly. Okay, now he's doing a deck here, so I'm immediately trying to throw down my Inferno Dragon so I can cycle back to it if I need to. And for some reason, okay, I want to get good value here. I could have gotten both of those guys. I could have gotten all 3 of those plus the elimination, but I wanted to get value specifically with the tower. I should have not been able to very much. Yeah, they outplayed us there. I should have waited for my fireball and gotten more of their support all at the same time. What are you doing? Why'd you play that there? Why'd you do that? But you didn't play it in the back, you played it up in the middle. You didn't give us any time to do it. If you're gonna play something, you gotta play it in the back. If you're just stalling, you can't play something. do anything. And these guys, they beat us up. Just... Yep. Can't do anything really. So... We would have won that in overtime, just barely. Alright, yeah, dude. We need to talk about full elixir again. When you're at full elixir, you have to play a card, but if you're gonna play one, you want to play it all the way in the back. You got to think about how much time you're gonna have. Like if you're gonna play it in the middle like that, I would have done that because maybe you wanted to play that Valkyrie in the middle and you wanted to throw a giant in front of it. So you played it in the middle like that, and the giant's at the bridge, and that's your push. You know, because you're at a full elixir push. Sometimes they're full elixir pushes I'll do. Because I'm at full elixir, I'll throw down the lumberjack and the balloon, and I'll wait a second or two to get my elixir, and I'll throw down my minions. And if I'm at full elixir and I anticipate that my challenger isn't, then that full elixir push will pay off well for me. So sometimes you know you've got your combos like that you can pull off, but in that particular moment, I'm gonna go back and watch that replay because it was pretty quick. It was right at the beginning. So, he had a Valkyrie. I wish I could rewind. Let me fast forward. You still here with me? I wish I could rewind. Try to see what you had in store. Yeah, you've got the Valkyrie, the Mega Knight, skeletons, and Zap. Okay, so when you got to anticipate with your deck at any given time, you could have any 4 cards, and sometimes a certain 4 of them will be like really bad. For me, it's if I'm playing a deck and there doesn't seem anything for me to fireball, I don't really see anything that I can zap. What are my other? And then I'll have like the Goblin Gang, which is good for me to use as a counter, but isn't good for me to start a push with because they can be countered so well, easily. But it's great for me to use to distract other things when I'm countering. So if I have those 3 cards, and then say maybe like my balloon, which is like easy to be countered as well, like that's probably my worst hand to have. In cycle, if I think about it, just because it puts me in a weird position. I'm like, dang, I can't pull off the combos I want to. If I had the Miner, I could at least go Miner and then Goblin Gang and try to hope to get some value out of that. But even a log still messes that up all the time. So here, Valkyrie isn't the worst decision to make, but where you placed it was just too far up. You know, she hit the bridge and she encountered troops way too early for us to really have reaction time. I would have, at that point, at where I'm looking at right now, I would have already determined that the left tower is done for. We're at 827 health. There's no point in us continuing to play defense on the left tower. There's no point. It's just a losing play. What we need to do is play for the right tower now. Don't allow them to push on the left side. Force them to be playing on the right side so that we can try and win an exchange and actually take their tower out on the right side, where we've got a full healthy tower to take a little bit of ping damage for their defense cards that come across. That's the play to make. At this point, that's where I would take that Valkyrie and place it on the very bottom, in the middle, but on the right lane. You got to be very careful about when you do it there, about which lane it goes to. But in the very back, the furthest back that you can put it, that's where you load up those cards. So that would be the first one I would play, and we just start. We would, at that point, you were going to have a knight who was next in your cycle. But if you laid that Valkyrie, looking at what I'm looking right now, I would have laid my Inferno Dragon as well in the very bottom right hand side. So that we would have 2 slow-moving cards going ahead. And then you would have had your knight in cycle, but you would have also had... your knight probably would have been the next best option, actually. And that we were trying to get... We'll have a couple of tanks going on, but see, you've got to think, now what are we doing about air? Like, you expended... all of your air defense, like, back-to-back, it looks like. You used your baby dragon and your wizard, and now that we've got this Valkyrie, knight, push, we need one of those cards. We need the baby dragon, we need something to do to help us out with the air. I could throw that minion, that miner out there. It just depends, because we're playing 2v2, there's, like, the weird dynamic of us trying to play off of each other. But which we're not designed to do right now. Some decks are completely designed to be a 2v2 deck. But yeah, as far as 1v1, you just got to think about all your trades, and then let's just get into another one. The best thing to do is just learn from experience. You try doing something and it doesn't work, and then you learn. So then you'll pull off a little combo, and you'll be like, wow, that worked. I wasn't expecting that. It's never my plan to win a tower with an Inferno Dragon. My Inferno Dragon's a defensive card. But every once in a while, I sneak a miner in there, and I take out a tower with the fucking Inferno Dragon. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. I'll do this. Nope. Back behind it. All the way down here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out for a positive elixir trade. So I can do this. Get those guys. Baby dragon. Hurry. Up the top. No. Range all the way at the top. Target the minions first. That's what the baby dragon's for. Alright. Throw the giant up there. What are you doing with that Valkyrie? You need to be playing the wizard behind it or something. Musketeer. Like anything. Never mind, don't do it now. So I'm going to do some defense cycle. Yeah, they're going to definitely take this tower. Don't even worry about trying to... Because what I need to do is just... Don't worry about those. You spending a card close enough. You should spend a card to try and take this fucker out. No. I'll push bomb is going to take the tower out, our king tower. If we had like a cannon or a Tesla, we could pull the balloon away, you know, or even a tornado. I don't. That's up to you. I mean, like, you just, you know, you got to think about what your deck is, and you just need to counter. Like, you need to have a win condition. You need to have air defense. You need to have defense. You need to think about every offensive card. How are you going to defend against a hog? What is your plan? You should have a plan already. Otherwise, what's the point of even thinking about making a deck? How are you going to defend against a giant or a golem? How are you going to defend against a lava hound? How are you going to defend against 3 musketeers? Like, you need to every single one of those cards you need to have an answer for. How are you going to defend against a giant witch? How are you going to defend against an elixir collector? That's the reason my miner is in my deck, is specifically for elixir collectors. It's the only reason. Because I don't want to waste a fireball on it. I got other things like, you know, I need to use the fireball for. So if you take the giant out, now you don't have a tank. So now you're going to tankless deck, which is okay. I don't play a tank deck. I have a tankless deck. But you got to understand how to play it. You know, an Inferno Tower, the way that you play, I think that you'd play it too much. I think that you would I think you would play it a lot thinking you're getting value out of it because it's a defensive card, and I think that you would be wasting that 5 elixir every time you drop it. I think you'd be either a little too late with it or way too early. You know? I don't like building cards because they're only defensive. They have no offensive value. The real kicker in this game is using a card defensively and then it turning around and being an offensive card. For example, the Inferno Dragon. Okay? I can take out a golem with my Inferno Dragon, and now my dragon is floating across the bridge. If I drop a tank in front of it, that's a dangerous little motherfucker. You know? So I'm getting 2 plays out of that 1 card. And it costs an elixir less. So I do like the Inferno Dragon, which is legendary, so it's difficult to get. I don't like the Inferno Tower. I don't like any of the buildings except for the Tesla. I think the Tesla is the most versatile and most effective building card. But I still don't use it. Maybe in a war sometimes. But yeah, you know, that's just me. Some people literally play hut spam decks, and all they play are hut decks, you know, and they can usually be destroyed if that's all their only tactic. But sometimes, man, I've been rolled through by somebody that just spammed me with barbarian and goblin decks, and like it was literally like a deck full of buildings. It doesn't work every time, but if you put in the time and the energy, and you really want to tweak that deck, you can make it work. Any of these things will work. It's just going to take a lot of losses for you to understand how to do it. Yeah. Giant Wizard. First of all, just those 2 cards alone go well together. Certain cards do. Okay. Giant Wizard. You've got baby dragons, so you got some good splash. You got air splash taking control of. You've got ground splash taking control of. You got that Valkyrie. How are you killing a tank? How are you taking out a golem? How are you taking out a giant? What is your thought there? The wizard? Yes. No, yes. That's your answer. The wizard. The skeleton army ain't shit. Skeleton army is easy to get countered. So is you drop a skeleton army against a giant, guess what's coming next? Zap. You spent 3, they spent 2. Now you gotta play another card. You know what I mean? So the skeleton army's nice, but you can't bank on it. It's really easy to get countered. Some cards are so easy to counter, and that's one of them. I don't like the bomb tower. I don't think you have a way to kill an air tank. Lava Hound. I think you're gonna try and do the witch and the baby dragon, and they hit you with that lightning. Well, I mean, you might do okay. You might do okay against the Lava Hound, but that one will be interesting to see play out. Depends on how Mini P.E.K.K.A. So I don't play it too often, but what is the role of the Mini P.E.K.K.A.? You tell me, because I know, but I want to make sure you know. It's not a tank at all. It's not. It's a tank killer. It is a defensive card. It is a defensive card first and foremost, and then you find out a way to put some distractions in place to get it to the tower for a really solid hit. But it is a defensive card first and foremost. You drop that to take out a hog. You drop that to take out a giant. You drop that to take out a golem. That is your ground tank killer. Lumberjack. Knight. You see what I mean? Executioner. You those cards that you need that you can't throw minions down for. Like this is your heavy hitter, and it just depends. But you use him if you just if because he's also, like I said, just so fucking easy to counter. For example, Skeleton Army, and then what? You're gonna play Zap, and then they're gonna play Goblin Gang, and you could think about playing arrows, but by that time it's already dead, and the arrows isn't really doing much except for just taking out a couple of goblins and just costing you elixir. Like, using the giant instead, giant wizard. Yeah, I mean, the core of this is giant wizard, Inferno Dragon, or the Inferno Tower. That's your tank killer, So now you've got two tank killers. So you got to think, that's going to fuck you up a little bit. Because if a hog or maybe it's good. Maybe they've got a hog and a giant in their deck, and you need the Inferno Dragon for the giant. You need the Mini P.E.K.K.A. for the hog. I could see that being a use case, a scenario. I don't think that you're ever going to just share one and I'm going to say that's golden, it'll never lose. There's so many ways to skin a cat. You just have to figure out what works for you, what works for your play style. I just know that you need to work on reaction time, because if you don't react on time, you're going to lose. Yes, that very good. Now we're going to throw that giant up there in front of it in the bridge.
Showtime!
Oh, shit. That sucks. It's okay, we're just gonna let that hog do its thing.
Fire!
I'm gonna take care of this wizard too. Sorry for being a little conceited. I should make me counter this. I've only got 5. No, Dusty. Yeah, don't do that. I know. That's going to be the issue. You're going to play it. It's going to end up costing. Play it now. See? Fast. Try to get more value out of these.
Fire!
No, in front of him. We're not playing defense on our small tower. We're not defending our base. We're not unless he backs it up. See that Valkyrie? You see how we use that Valkyrie? That's how you get it about the wizard behind the giant. Catch that? So that's another thing you'll see. Off combos and then combos. So that's how you get it. See that one in there again. I need another. I can fireball zap. Yeah, it's fireball zap. Oh no, you should have played that. You should have played that. Take for it. Yeah, you figure it out. You want to take for your squishies. No, no. See, that's the type of shit right there that's gonna make you lose. So not only did I Did you not hear me say I was in fireball? Well, you... Got to, man. Got to. I said it twice. I said, now that tower is fireball zappable. And, I used the zap, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't use the zap. All I needed to use was fireball. Yeah. And then I said, now I'm going to have to fireball it anyways. If you were going to use it, you could have called it out, too. You could have said, I've got arrows. I'm going to arrow it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, then you definitely shouldn't have thrown them. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. But you'll learn, you know, like I said, it's just more gameplay. I'm going to call you out on every mistake that you make so that you know that it's a mistake. I mean, you might not realize that it's a mistake. But if you want to play it the best of your abilities, I'll teach you everything I've learned. Splitting my Goblin Gang down to bottoms is actually a decent, really effective way to do it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, we need to play defense the right way. We should drop the giant. But that prince, he knew that I played the counter to the prince. Fuck, this is hard. This is hard. I got the sap to grab all that shit. Oh no. That arrow's not really do much of anything. Like those arrows would have normally taken care of those nonsense. It's just not. Yeah, it's a big waste of monster. And those minions that you played. No! Why the fuck? No, dude. Why would you do that? That was a waste too. That was way too late. It's one thing to defend on time. You don't defend when you're late like that. What's up? Hello, brother? Turbo Blast? Lobus? You push hard in the other lane first. Push hard in the other lane. Hard. Wizard. So, we'll have a conversation about it. The main idea is, it's too late now. Yeah, you should have done that again. I don't know. It's too late. I'm not going to really play it like this. So, there's definitely strategic tactic. Fuck. I forgot. So he's got a great against a prince with an executioner behind him. I mean, think about that one really hard for a second. It takes some fucking effort. That's a great combination. You got to think about that. You would think. No. But what, how, okay, what you need to do is target the executioner. That's right. Anytime there's a tank with something behind it, you always target what's behind it. You got a giant with a wizard, you take out the wizard first. Fuck the giant. That's the dynamic there. Let me hit the bathroom real quick, and I'm gonna hit my tactic for the golem thing. I'll be right back. Okay, all right, back in action. So just specifically to talk about golems and lava hounds, because they're kind of like uh, the same idea, only different flavors, air and ground, right? So they're slow. If you notice, any good lava hound player, any good golem player is going to play it all the way in the back. Sometimes they might sneak one up at the bridge, but for the most part, they're going to play their golem decks all the way in the back. And what do they want you to do? They want you to continue to put... I'm sorry. What do they want to do? They want to put troops behind the golem, right? Don't they? That makes sense. Oh, anything. A witch. Usually it's a witch. Dark witch. Those are great ones. Sometimes it's a wizard. Often it's an executioner. But they want to get something behind the golem. What is my tactic then? Push the other lane. Because if I'm pushing the same lane the golem's in, that's the worst move you can make. Because now they get to put stuff behind the golem to defend against your new cards. They'll eat up your new cards, and they'll still have these awesome troops behind the golem like they wanted anyways. So it's not like they're just playing it for free. They're playing it, getting value out of it, and now it's going to go make a second play. You want your cards to be able to make more than one play. So I try to nip that in the butt. If I see that they drop a golem, I'm trying to rush as hard and as fast as I legitimately can with my deck in the other lane. And I'm cycling around to my Inferno Dragon. Maybe I've already got my Inferno Dragon in a cycle. So sometimes I might drop the Inferno Dragon first in the back in the same lane as the golem, all the way in the back, and then push really hard in the other lane in an effort to cycle back to it. But oftentimes I will just wait, and I will push pretty heavily with the Lumberloon combo, or maybe if I know they're just gonna hit the Lumberloon with minions, and they're gonna take out the Lumberjack with minions, and the minions are also gonna take out my balloon, and that's a huge counter. I'm spending 9, and they're spending 3. Maybe I don't do the Lumberloon. Maybe at that point I'm doing a balloon minion zap combo. I've got to think about what I'm doing specifically based on their deck and how they've already countered my stuff. But I'm pushing the other lane. And the main idea there is don't let them support their tank. Don't do it. That's the tactic. And then wait till their tank gets to the bridge. And usually by the time it gets to the bridge, they've spent too much elixir on the other lane that now I can spend the 4 for my Inferno Dragon and take out the golem or the thing with a little bit of damage, but minimal damage. That's the tactic there. You'll see me do that time and time again. What they want you to do is to start playing slow defensive cards in the same lane, like a knight and a Valkyrie all the way in the back, like you're going to take out their fucking golem with your knight. And that's what they want you to do, because then they're going to use the golem as a big tanky distraction for all their other shit to come in there and eat you up. And you'll learn that. You see that. I've played this game for years, and you know the amount of how many games have I played? Let's look at this. I have played. Oh, I have. It doesn't say how many I've played. Yeah, I've got. Well, the wins and the 3-count wins are also separate. They're not part of the same pool. So that's almost 1,500. Or yeah, almost. Wait a minute. No, that's 10,000. 15,000. Wait a minute. Yeah. So like 15,000 games I've won. That's a lot. That's a lot. So you know, I've played a lot of Golem decks, you know, and sometimes like some of them are fucking tricky, man, you know. But I've figured out that my best defense against it is to try and make it to where they can't support their thing. At least that's the way that my deck works, you know. That's also I'm coming from a perspective of what cards I have available, and so when you look at my deck. What I think of is I've got the hog counter, which leads into my balloon combo. That's my heavy hitter. Everything else is pretty much I'm sorry, the lumberjack for the hog, you know, and then leading into the loon. I've got my tank killer with the Inferno Dragon. I use the Goblin Gang to distract troops that I need to like the Prince or you know stuff like that. Hey, Ghost Shooter, how's it going, man? I appreciate that follow on Twitch. I saw that. I appreciate it, dude. Doing all right. Just kind of going through some deck mechanics and hitting some 2v2s. Brand new to Omlet. I've been streaming for a couple of weeks on Mob Crush and pushing stuff to Twitch, but almost at 50 followers. And I'm going to be doing a PUBG event this Sunday. I'm going to be making custom rooms, custom games. So I'll talk to you more about that, Mac. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun. Looking for some fun. We're gonna get some people in for, you know, pistols only and some interesting game types. It'll just be, it'll be a good time. Yeah. Join the Discord server. Yeah, you can do okay, yeah, it's not this game; it's a different game. But there's these room cards for custom matches, so you can get everybody in. But yeah, I'm doing a lot here on this game specifically. I missed my clan war this today, so that's a little unfortunate. I'm gonna do a ladder push to 5,000 soon. So you see, I'll get an extra bonus for clan wars at 4,900, so that'll be nice. But I'm gonna push up to 5,000 soon. That'll be my next event on Clash Royale. So right now we're gonna hit some more 2v2s. Let's play a game with Mac. I know you can't hear him. I've got him on a Discord audio, so I can hear him talking to me. I'm not talking to myself, guys. Discord details are in my bio. So you should be able to see a link to my general page. I'm trying to get this set up. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and okay, I'm gonna try. Jeez. No. Wait, play that giant all the way back right. Bottom right. Bottom right. When I say bottom right, I mean in the middle, but it's all good. It's hard for me to start. Okay, no. Yeah. If you have something to take a little bit, maybe I've got something. Woo! Lucky. So check this out. Watch. When zapping, because he played that wizard, zap. That the 2 elixir for zapping it would have been a waste. Instead, 3 elixir to take those guys out, and he played a zapping. The poison. Wow. They just gave us. They really overplayed those minions. Let's see what he does with that. See what he does. Okay. Play your skeletons. Skeleton card. That piece of shit card. Yeah, middle. Right here, dude. You don't know where to play that card? That's. Yeah, well, you have it. And that's where you play it. And one square to most of it. Should have played him up. It would have actually pulled that, nice, that log in there over time, for Princess now to hit it. Probably would have gotten one less swing on our main tower, so we're just gonna fireball this. Yet a knight. Wow. I got this. I got this. Use a cheat counter. Opening. It's still a log. Definitely pushing hard left now. Forget about that. Good. Now I want you to play the minions. Yeah, wait. Also, like, I need to be better at this myself, but this projection, see where we need to try and do that as much as we can. Fireball zap is magic. Oh, overtime is over. Oh, dang. We might have been able to get that. I thought we were going into overtime. Yeah. So the Tombstone is really only good in a couple of decks for a couple of reasons. I mean, you can carry it in any deck if you just want to counter a Prince or a Hog with it. Great for countering those two cards. It is. It's also great for just being really annoying behind a Lava Hound. So you'll see a lot of people with Lava Hound decks have a skeleton graveyard or the Tombstone as well. It's really freaking annoying when you've got the Hound in there and the skeletons start walking in, and it just takes a while to wear the Hound down. Those skeletons can either take out your supporting troops or start whacking on the tower. It's just, you see that. But, yeah, like I said, those cards aren't my favorite. I like troop cards because I can use them to play defensively and then offensively. And yeah, some people make full spell decks too. You can almost pull off an all spell or spell bait decks where you've got like the princess and the dark goblin and the goblin horde and the goblin gang and the goblin barrel. All of those are cards that you want to use the arrows and the log on. But I just named off 4. And that's arrows and log. You know what I mean? So it's like, which one are you not gonna counter? Which one are you gonna use a log on? You know, how can I figure out how to trick you? Oh, you joined hey, thanks for joining. Awesome. I will be sharing content there more soon on Discord. The knights. Okay, alright. So what works in 2v2 with me isn't necessarily going to project into 1v1 for yourself. So you definitely need to think about, when you're playing by yourself, can you counter everything? What's giving you troubles? Just tweak. What's paying off? Okay, let's try to find some way to fight against this guy. Playing this here. They were ready with the zap and the princess. Their deck is set up to get this princess.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh no. This is rough. I gotta cycle all the way back around to my defense. Yeah, you need to play that. Yeah, because I my inverted cycles. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're gonna share your Clash Royale deck? Yeah, that'd be awesome. If you post it in the server, that'd be incredible. I've got a little group there. You can see. This is really aggressive on my part. Just want to see how they're gonna play against it. Honestly, we shouldn't be left lane, dude. You know that, right? Like, we shouldn't be banking on any type of defense here. Fuck. I know he's gonna play his Prince. It sucks. Let's go. Alright. Distract me while actively taking out the Valkyrie. There's something about it. No. Dragon's Dragon target the tower and places. Yeah. I think the Inferno Dragon would, it might work out for you in 1v1, but definitely if you're not trying to use it to defend against a Prince. It doesn't work that way. Giants. New subscriber. Hey, thanks for the subscription. Let's see. Oh, YouTube. Awesome. All right, I've got a YouTube subscriber. That's what I'm talking about. I just got this YouTube stream working, so I'm glad that I'm seeing some people watch on YouTube. I'll be definitely sharing a lot more content as well. So, Schuyler Martin, thank you. Dude, this Discord's super fucking quiet if you're still there. It's like there's no secondary noise at all. Have you seen that movie, A Quiet Place? Go, go. Joe Gaming, what's up, man? Alright. Sometimes I just put it up there just to see how they do. No, don't do that, don't do that. Let's get lost. Why? You gotta just put it up there. That wizard's gonna pay off. That's pretty good. Because it did some solid defense there, and it's still alive. I'm gonna try and tank for it a little bit and get a combo going. Let's see if this will work. No, don't overplay it. Don't overplay it. Don't do anything. Now play the minions on him. Play your minions. You saw that? That was your job. I was pushing offense. That was your play for defense. Nah, shouldn't have played that on the right lane. You should have played that on the left lane. The right lane is weak, remember? And it wasn't actually like it wasn't actually defending anything. You're playing I guess I'm just gonna try to. Oh, I don't have my blue in sight. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Back. I want to do something with that charge. We got all the time. Now, why are you trying to play your giant up here? Fuck that. Yeah, there you got a nice cheap counter, as I was saying. Really expensive counter. We're gonna pull off this one again. Super fucking easy. For my balloon, be ready with your arrows. That's not what we need. We don't need that. So they sucked when we won, but definitely didn't play it to the best of our abilities. No, not exactly. We're going to be matchmaking with other people that have low level. For example, I have level 13 cards, and I'm seeing level 11 cards, like level 11 wizards that I could easily fireball and destroy. Like that. The levels matter, but I can tell when you're playing well and when you're playing wrong. If we were playing well and we lost anyways, and I would know that it's because of levels. I would be like, oh, he fireballed your wizard. That's unfortunate for you because, you know, a fireball isn't supposed to take out a wizard. It's just because the fireball was a level higher than your wizard. So that's a level 4 card taking out a level 5 card that's broken. You know, when they're at the same level, it balances out. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is I'm seeing you making bad plays, and it's just because you're not used to it. You know, you don't know what to do, so you just, you know, at first it was playing nothing. Now you're playing cards at the bridge, but you're not paying attention to which lane you need to push. But you know, now that I'm calling you out on it, you'll think about it, and now that you're thinking about it, you will start paying attention to which lane to push when you're banking in the back. Now you're banking in the back. You were just freezing up, so it's like it's progressive steps moving forward, and eventually you'll have that reaction when you see a card played. You need to count. Sometimes you need to counter immediately, and you got to be like when you were trying to play those minions, and then you chose not to, and then he dropped that Mega Knight. I had to yell at you like 3 times to drop the minions. You should have known immediately, like, oh, that perfect minions, Mega Knight. Why? Why is that perfect? Because it's a flying troop. The Mega Knight can't touch it, and they also will eat it up pretty quickly. You know, so I don't know. It just comes with practice. You'll end up when you see that Goblin Barrel fly, dude. You gotta be so ready. You gotta know exactly what you're playing when you see that Goblin Barrel in the air. Because if it hits the ground and you're still trying to figure it out, you're done. You're done. They're winning. They're gonna beat you with this Goblin Barrel the whole deck, the whole game. Yeah, shit. I should have checked my Discord. Let me check out my Discord. Oh, okay. Here we go. Taking Talker. Hello. Give me the chat. Oh shit! Got my phone. So I do this with the balloon all the time, okay? It's the difference between putting it in the middle and putting it over to the edge of this, okay? You gotta know about when you can and when you can't actually pull true. You gotta know about when you can and when you can't actually pull a true card. So you gotta be, if you're gonna play a building card, which you are right now, every square that it's good to go on, and every square that's not. What you should do actually is get on YouTube and watch someone who's actually like Orange Juice Gaming. I don't know if you've ever. Hey, Potato, thanks for the friend request. Yes, I'll post it up on Discord as well. You know, what you want to do is remember what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, they're mocking us. this in the bag.
Showtime!
I don't even know what to do right now. We're just so far behind on this. Like, no, not that. Please. Throw the giant in there. Throw the giant in there. Left lane. Yeah, he's got too many counters ready to go. He forced me to counter that right lane, that bush. No, see, you don't have any defend against the Skeleton card. What are you going to defend against the mini Pekka? Exactly. What are you going to defend against the Prince with? You see? No, that's the minions are gonna. If you drop minions when they drop a Prince, you'll kill the Prince. But that Prince is gonna fuck up your tower, dude. It's gonna fuck it up. I'd much rather play the Skeleton army because it's gonna prevent your tower from taking any damage and it's gonna take out the Prince. You know. However, they're gonna expect you to play that, so they're also gonna bring a zap. So you have to just be prepared for all of those things. You know, this is like chess. It's basically a chess match, and you know you've got to figure out. Like with me, if somebody plays their card that I consider the counter to my balloon, and they play it out of cycle, I'm pushing the other lane with my balloon because I know I'm gonna win. I already know it. They just use their counter, and right there you had no counter. And I only had, I had already used my counter, so it was just, we were in a position where it was like, there was really nothing to be done. Here we go. Ghost Shooter. Thanks for joining. And Potato, I got your friend request here also. Let me friend you up. Yeah. I'll go back to this. Try to get Potato in here. I think there's this is just the general run. Okay, link to Clash Royale. Copy the deck. Let's check out your deck, man. Oh, okay. So this guy's rocking a Mega Knight deck. Do you have the Tornado? Okay. So he's rocking a pretty interesting deck here. The Tornado's great because one thing that it can do is it can pull in, say, a Miner or a Hog to the King Tower, that middle King Tower, so that right off the bat, you can activate your King Tower and get extra cannons for defense. It's a great play. If I throw a Miner down and somebody pulls it into their King Tower, damn. If it's early game, awesome move. If it's late game and their tower is almost dead anyways, terrible move. It's just a waste of elixir. But, you know, I don't use the Tornado, but it has its own dynamics. You need to know how to use each card. Some of these cards are great, but if you don't know how to use them, then it's a waste. It's actually going to be detrimental, you know? So Goblin Gang, I love that card. Mega Minion, I love that card too. I might actually change to Mega Minion from my regular minions. I like the speed of the regular minions when I'm going against other regular minions, but that Mega Minion, especially when it's behind something, and you use it as a counter defensively, you can't fireball it, it won't take it out. And the fireball is still 4 for 3. You don't want to fireball zap it. That'd be freaking 6 for 3. Dude, come on. You know, it's like, you can't really just spell out the Mega Minion. I guess you can with the lightning, but that's expensive. That's asking a lot. That Mega Minion, he's running Mega Knight, Wizard, Hog, Fireball, Zap, Tornado, Mega Minion, Goblin Gang. So he's got the triple spell. I think it's a good deck, man. I like it. I think that probably works out really well for you. Okay, yeah, that friend request, in-game friend request. Let me get to that. Let me open this on my phone because right now I'm looking at this on my computer. Yeah, yeah, it does look really good. You've got a lot of counterplay. You've got tons of offense going on there. I mean, and that's what I was just talking about. Is you want to think about how people are going to react to what you're laying down. The fireball is super versatile. You know, zapping all kinds of things. That tornado, when somebody's got tornado and Mega Minion, like you could defend against my balloon pretty effectively with that tornado Mega Minion combo, and then zapping if you really need to, because I've got the rage. Man, I hate it. So, and this on my side, I'm waiting for you to use that tornado on anything else, and then I can finally throw my balloon down. But if I try too soon, oops, did I do this wrong? Wait, yeah. General, friends, install and play is. Oh, was that a friend request? Hang on. Join your friend, Legend 21. I already have Clash Royale. Okay, that's why. Retry login. Let's try it again. I already have Legend 21. Okay, boom. I've got you. Got you on my friends now. Pit Crusaders. Is that Pittsburgh? You in Pittsburgh? You rocking it from there? I'm outside of Detroit right now. All right, Mac. I need 4 more crowns, dude. I need 4 more crowns. It's crown chest. Yeah, I haven't been playing today. I think that's my favorite. Oh. Okay. Guess. Are you full? Are you full? Play something if you're full. Sit on full. Do not sit on full. Oh man. It's really, really good graveyard there. Man, what are you doing? We need those minions over there, dude. We need those minions over there. Tell us that. Those minions are what I call too little too late. That was also a waste. Because, what, they got like, look at what they did to that knight. Nothing. They did nothing to that knight. What did they do to that other card? Nothing. They didn't do anything to it, too. Oh, man. Might hit some 1v1s just to show off my deck 1v1 for the stream. So that Royal Ghost is a pain in the ass, and the deck, what he did was my counter is that Royal Ghost my counter is that Royal, and he played the Royal Ghost in response to the Lumberjack no game, and I just that's exactly what he did there. So it was good play on his part. Yeah. All good. I'm gonna prep some coffee right here. So if I still got you with me, I'm gonna run a couple 1v1s. I think I've got a couple streamers that are watching, and I'd like to maybe push up to 4,900. I need these 4 crowns anyways. And I'd like to get to 4,900 for the next war, because when I start up the war day and I do the collection attacks, I'll get more cards for being at the Master 1 bracket versus, what am I at right now? Challenger 3. So I want to get up to Master 1. guy doesn't like my emotes. Nice little, nobody doing anything. See, it's okay to sit at max right now because we're just starting this off. Master 1, yeah. I'm not too far right now. I've been there before. It's just we got this league restart. I'm gonna hit up with this. So that building card was a pretty decent distraction from that. That lightning isn't enough to take it out. See what else he's got in mind for me. I have a feeling I can see it. I really lava hounds. I told you. I just was talking to Mad Matt Mac about this. Seeing that combination. So he's already used his lightning. I don't think he has it in cycle. Yep. Very, stop the game, actually. I don't know if this Goblin game is really worth it. But he's got a very meta deck. You'll find this online. This isn't something he created himself. This is something he got from a website. You see these all the time. All I encounter here in like the 49 it's all buildings. So now I'm pushing the other way. This is my tactic. This is my tactic. So none of that can get affected. Rough on my part. Seconds. I don't think I can do it, man. That's what I was saying, dude. That is so annoying. Okay, I think I've got him. He played pretty good, and that is it's a very meta deck. You'll see that, like I said, on websites. Look at this in the replays. Level 13. He's got his max level legendary too. That's very impressive. Level 13 Balloon. Level 13 Goblin Gang. Level 13 Lightning as well. That's impressive. That's wow. Oh, I need. But if you look at this deck right here, the core of this deck is something I was talking to you about earlier. Lava Hound with the Mega Minion and the skeleton, the graveyard. That right there is just, and then a lot of the times you'll also see, you know, the balloon behind the Lava Hound as like the real heavy hitter. That was this huge investment, and it worked off. It totally paid off there. I did some scrambling to make that game back. You know, I had to do a little minor Goblin Gang Zap combo to try and get some action to finally take out that first tower. But as you can tell, I've played against that deck so many times. I do know how to counter it. I do know how to play against it. It's just a matter of like executing it. Crazy, crazy. Okay, let's get to 4,900. Just a couple more. I think 2 more matches if I win 2 more. The Mad King. He's mad. Let's see. I don't want to start with my lumberjack. I really hate starting with my lumberjack unless I'm countering something. I don't like lumberjack. He's gonna play slow. I'm gonna play slow. I need to get back to my balloon. I need to get my balloon cycle. Here we go. Perfect. See how easy that was? Guess I'm gonna zaps, but it's alright. Got a lot of value out of that. The bomb still hit, takes out the princess. I don't have my minions in cycle. Do I just fireball them? I guess I do. See, he wants me to react to that. He wants me to react to his knight first, but I had to. See, that was I defended with 3 against a 6 elixir play right there.
Yay.
Took a little bit of damage, but me defending with 3 against a 6 elixir play, that works out in my favor. I don't really know what I'm about to do right here, though. This sucks. I'm gonna have to do something like this. Just let that bomb. Oh, it didn't quite get there. Oh, it's I just need to put my decks inside. Counters inside. Cycle. Can I watch your vid, Eli So Crazy, on your channel? Yeah, Pogo Drake, I definitely will. If you throw a link down there for me in the chat, that would probably be the best way for me to get to it. Or wait, what did you just hit me up on? Okay, you're on YouTube. Yes, I will find your account and I will do that. I've got this notification in here, so I'll I just took a screenshot just to make sure I can find it again. I don't know if it's gonna change, if it's gonna save this whole message stream. Can't link. Just go to the channel. I will do that, Pogo Drake. Definitely will. Definitely check it out. I'm interested in seeing what everybody else is up to. Yeah, one more win will get me my 1 more crown and will push me into 4,900 for war. That'd be nice. Hit that Master 1 League action. They've been some nail biters. These have been some close games. That's how it is up here. Nail biters. Okay, I need to cycle around to my balloon, so I'm just gonna... Oh, I had the lumberjack. It's okay, I didn't have my balloon, so it's actually better that I played the Inferno Jack. That's the counter. It's going to get 2 strikes anyways. It's just even just as much cost. Everything. Okay, what's going on here? I'm going to play it now. Okay. Yes, I'll go check it out right after this. Right after this. It's gonna be enough to distract me. It's still gonna get Zap's not gonna do it here yet. Zap might have done it. Zap might have done it. I think so. Zap would be appropriate. Let's see. You ready for this, aren't you? We're on 8, and I gotta make sure I can actually pull off the combo before I lay the cards. I knew what I was doing. Very frustrating. Wow. He's got a super hog side. He's getting a little cocky. Maybe I can use that to my advantage. Okay, yes, I can. Because he dropped. Thanks. Might be out of cycle. I think he is. I think he is. Okay, not winning this one, guys. Just gotta decide. Look at him. Look how excited he is. Yeah, it's, people like to, there's no sportsmanship in video games, you know. I mean, there should be, and I'll tell people when they beat me if they played well, good game. But most people like to hide behind their keyboard and try and make you mad. They try to make fun of you and which it doesn't make me mad, but it's just like, you're obviously just very immature. Maybe you're young, or maybe you're not young, and you just have a really immature attitude. Let's go check out this video this guy's linked me. Let's see. See if I can get cool. I leveled up here. All right. The says my deck is really good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Eli So Crazy on your channel. Puggo Drake. So let me go to YouTube. I don't have the app YouTube, so I'll have to go to web browser, YouTube. How's it spelled? One word? Boom. Found you. Eli So Crazy. All right. Eli So Cray. What is this? Skate? Skate 2? Oh man. Mega Park. I used to play this game. Lots of. That's pretty cool. Who's hitting this set? I used to play the heck out of this game. I don't know. This might not be it. This looks a lot like Tony Hawk mechanics, but not the skate mechanics. Was that Rob Deerdick? Is that he the one that made Skate? Maybe not. Oh, was it not playing? Didn't. Yo, can you hear me? Is the stream still going? Oh. Um, Let me go downstairs. The guy said, "What happened?" I don't know if it like isn't streaming anymore. No, it does seem to be streaming. Oh, I think the audio is messed up. Is what's going on. Like, there's the video, but there's not audio on the stream. Is that? No, the video. Oh, it's just not. It's not doing the audio from the video I'm watching. I bet if I go back to the game. Like, there's the video, but there's not audio on the stream. Is that what it is? The video. Oh, it's just not. It's not doing the audio from the video I'm watching. I bet if I go back to the game. There's the video. There's not audio on the stream. Is that what it is? The video. Oh, it's just not. It's not doing the audio from the video I'm watching. Oh, it's just not. It's not doing the audio from the video I'm watching. I bet if I go back to the game. I don't know. Trying to. Is there audio options here? Go back to this where he was talking. It's weird. I'm not sure why the audio is not working. I mean, I can hear it. What if I can hear it? I don't know what to think about that. And that's all I can tell. It's got the munchies. Connection lost. Twitch machine got unplugged. What? Am I or am I not streaming? Looks like I'm still streaming to YouTube. What is up with Twitch? I'm not sure, but I read some stuff where it was like switching in between some of the applications can cause it to mess up. Oh, it's back up now, it looks like. Alright. Yeah, good. Let's, I'm gonna rock another lad alarm. Man, I might have to do two. If I win this one, I'd like to get to 49. Maybe I'll do a video pushing to 52. I've never been to 52, so nice. Like that. I don't know if you were watching me just now, but it's one of those situations where they play a card on the bridge, and if you don't react immediately, you lose the exchange at least. Talking twice. This guy's battle ram just got all the way in there, man. Pulled off that battle ram combo. Fuck. Alright. He knows what I want to do. I really should be saving that battle ram guy's got really annoying. It's not allowing me to counter. Really annoying there. I kind of lost that playing when he was trying to get. Yeah. You can mock me. Overplaying, he dropped that battle ram in there. Once he got that first battle ram in there, honestly, the fact that I was off cycle for the battle ram the entire match is why I did have the opportunity to make a play. That sucks. That sucks. That wasn't my rage. It was dumb. Horrible placement. Very easy to manage here. Cycle. I just don't have my balloon. Where is my balloon? That's really frustrating. Where the fuck is my I can't believe he tanked for his 1 HP mini P.E.K.K.A. with a Valkyrie. That is a great play. That was a great play. I had to double counter. I couldn't single counter. Okay. See, he's trying to use all of his cards. The fact that he's got a little bit of HP as like, you know, those minions is just to tank his hog. He's using minions to tank for his hog. That's crazy, right? Okay. Now I've got my cycle ready. We should see some action. That's do a defensive cycle. Got him. See that? I spent the whole first 2 minutes. It took me 2 minutes to get my deck cycled around to where I had the balloon out of the lumberjack. Got that ground chest though. All right, guys. I think I'm actually going to take a break from the Clash Royale action. I need what two wins to get to 4,900. Man, let me try and rock. If this next one's a win, then we'll go for it. If this one's a loss, then I'm gonna stop right here. But I think I want to just try and do another video later where I'm doing specifically some ladder pushing. This is a great starting deck. Great starting hand. Just don't know exactly what I want to do. Let's beg him to do something. Okay, he's doing the same thing. Very nice. Well played. Whatever. Oh, okay. He's anticipating some action. Oh, alright, well at least he used his bats. That's a good counter though. Ate up my 3 cost minion, and it did proper defending. That was so good. I can't use it against my my balloon now. So there's that. That was really expensive on his part. I don't mind him playing that. What else? What else? We shove it down his throat. That's what's happening. Aha! Oh no, what was that? Man, he got these minions quick, didn't he? What did I use that? Oh, that minion is just a desperation. Got my zapping cycle. See how I continued to use that zap on his bats? I didn't have to. It allows me to have more elixir available for this push right here. Didn't have to. Sometimes it's okay to take a little damage. Fuck, I'm okay. I'm one way a win from 49. One way a win from Master. Let's do it. This is it. Last game right here. Now or nothing. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. What's going on here? What am I playing? What is he playing? Oh no! This is right here. Yeah, he's got a good one right there. I should not have played that minion, but I was out of sight. I was very out of sight. This is good luck again. Some really interesting tactics here. This guy's kind of annoying. He's definitely going to take that tower. There's no point in me defending it. Game's not over yet. Game's not over yet. Oh no. That sucks. I wasn't countering his cards in the proper cycle, but I should have been using my lumberjack against his battle ram. I just didn't have that in cycle, and he was abusing me because of it. Just totally abusing me. His archers, man, those were pretty annoying. Can't go out like that. That was just an ass kicking. I don't know. I don't really know exactly where I played. I don't know what I did that was just horribly wrong. Maybe I was playing too slow and I was trying to wait for a counter and there was nothing there, so I just stepped up. Bats. Bats! Bats. That is a tricky one to do sometimes. It's not often that I use my Inferno Dragon to take out the Furnace, but I figured out that it's possible. You just need to get the timing down. That combination there is gonna get me. But maybe that was good for me. 4 for the Furnace, 3 for the Archers. That's 7. My blue only cost 5. Just pecking damage right here. Yes, man. That's what everybody says. Fuck. Man, he's got those bats. It's so fucking annoying because he can cycle back around to them so quickly. I'm not going to be able to take him out without I just don't have the timing. I'm going to have to figure out how to right win. He's defending it every time. Oh shit. Oh well, it seems to have worked out. Maybe I can change the settings. If I go to... How do I change the settings? This is me watching me. 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 Where did I find that? Where is it? Home, discover. I am live. Buffs, no. What's up? Share, no. Viewers, 4 viewers. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. Notifications. I'm trying to see how to set this shield off. Voice chat. Please connect your headset to use the micro. It is. Mic on, audio on. In call, input mode, always on, push to talk. I don't know what's going on. Viewer games enabled. I don't know what that is. If anybody knows how to do this. I don't even know what viewer games are. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about the volume. I'll have to figure it out later. Alright, mic check 1, 2. Got this next to me. Let's see how this sounds next to me. Talking, there's music, I'm still talking. And I hear it seems kind of loud. Yeah, that's what you're saying. You can hear me. There's a lot of other guys. Oh yes, very good. Thanks. Throw that wizard down too. So you used a 4 elixir card there to defend with. That's pretty nice. He wants to take his hog. Not on my watch. That's what rage is. Defensive, and I'm going to push this other play the double lane push. I'm attacking both lanes because I kind of have to. Yes! No! What? What's that? That's a good shell. This is rough. I don't know. That was bullshit. That was very frustrating. That's how it gets. Right when you're at the border of like 4,900, the next tier, gets really interesting because that's where all, like, a lot of people are trying to get to that same bracket. So there's a lot of people trying to fight for 49. Not as many. It's not as difficult once you get to 5,000. 49, man, that's where everybody's struggling. I'm just gonna do this to maintain the workout. My cycle. I'm just trying to get the cycle proper. Shit. Now I don't want to play the lumberjack. For me to lumberjack. I don't want to play it, honestly. I really hate doing this. It's an annoying card. I don't really have cards catered for this particular. See, that's why I didn't want to play that lumberjack back there. It's so frustrating. This is the card I needed for that. So he's got me on a better cycle right now. This is really I'm gonna have to go out of cycle for myself. See, that's why he dropped it. He knew. He's like, oh, you dropped your tank killer. I'm gonna drop my tank killer. Not gonna play this lumberjack. Already back to this really nice reserve. And he had to use a fireball. So I'm getting back into a decent cycle. But this will get you upset. Right, quest accomplished. Sorry, I got one more. Oh, great, Hog Riders. I don't want those. Hog Riders trash. Only noobs play Hog Rider. Sarcasm. Sorry. This is my plan here. A little distraction. And he used the tornado. Alright, I baited out the tornado. So now you know what's next, right? My balloon. Balloon combo coming at ya. A little bit out of cycle, but I'll make it work. Really had to invest in that. Really had to invest. He scrambled to defend there. Why? Because he didn't have his tornado. Yeah, he's upset, I know. Slow defense, little slow defense, what you doing? Let me walk this bad boy all the way up there, I don't care. Oh, fuck it, right? Yeah, cool. I played that, so that's 3-4. Says I can trade. Yeah. Not really. Ah! So I don't have my minions inside, so I can't play my card out of that, because it's gonna be the Goblin Gang, and this guy's gonna mess me up on that. He's got the Tornado in cycle as well right now. Jesus. So hard. Can't do it. He's making it to where I and I didn't have my correct, I'm not gonna have time to do this. I'm not gonna have time to do this at all. Yeah, he had the counter for my balloon, and he was just pocketing it, and he fucked me on that fight. He fucked me with a couple really good fireballs, man. He fucked me pretty good with those fireballs. Hog fireball. You'll see that all day, every day. Some of these people have no creativity. What do you know? Another hog deck. Surprise, surprise. Now you can see why I made this deck. Oh, didn't quite get into the tower. Man, this is really good for me. Let's get that whole fucking thing. Let me stop playing my slow defense. Let me instead get a little spam in here. Cycle, spam cycle. Oh, he's just giving up. Know how it is, man. I do know how it is. Sometimes you just get outplayed. Not even gonna mock this guy, because that's just bad sportsmanship. We'll take the towers. Sometimes I know I'm losing, but I don't usually give up. Not until it's like maybe the third tower and it's already halfway done. Because I usually have some I have some great opportunities for comebacks. Winning, losing. Couple more games, man. I want to play some PUBG. I just was hoping to get to 49. See, this doesn't work as well. Oh, he did it too. It doesn't work as well as you might think it would. You got to react quickly, though. We both reacted quickly. Sometimes you'll see me split them in the back. It's a decent tactic. Okay, I've got my freaking lumberjack shot. That's so far. The counters are on point. Was he gonna push this all the way to the left lane? I'm glad I didn't drop that balloon yet. Let's do this right here. I only want to spend 3. I don't want to use my fireball. It's risky. I hate the minion board. It's actually really easy to counter. I've got my zap. I can counter a minion board with a 2 elixir zap. 5 for 2. As long as he doesn't throw a miner down or something like that, that's all I need. Just to zap him, and then my princess tower will ping them all. Alright, here we go. Elixir collector. This is my tactic. Get as much play out of that as I He's got a slow giant push. He's gonna need that mini. Oh, really? Oh no. This isn't good. This is not good. This just isn't good. Yeah, I've got the fireball. It's just wow. I mean, like, he got a little bit of a elixir advantage on me, and then just demolished me with those 3 muskets. And he split them, so I couldn't hit them all with a fireball. Plus, they were max level, so my fireball wasn't going to take them out. I was going to have to do a fireball and a zap. So the fact that they were behind the giant, and he knew I already used my zap, shit. Okay, now I got no sound. No sound at all right now. I don't know what's going on. Let me put in my wireless.
Magic Fireball. Magic. Showtime!